He was he was a look at this guy with the mustache right back here. I don't know, but we had a great crowd there that game. It was fun. Let's go to the next one. There, I think is that Bernie Cook, that number 33? Yeah, thanks for blocking for Larry. He was looking at the ref to see if he was in. And there's the celebration. Look at Derwin. That's the highest he jumped. Coach Chimpley would have loved that. Larry with the glasses back there. They should be in the Silver Lake Hall of Fame, shouldn't they? He was going to bring them out tonight here. He still has them at home. Look, he still fits in his jacket these days. The rest of us couldn't wear it because we couldn't fit in it. So, I remember the celebration, and that was a great time. Go ahead. And we ended a perfect season at 13-0. And you look back, and not too many teams can say they were 13-0. I know Buzz and Dan had a couple of them, but you know, there's only 30 other teams that have won it since we have. And you know, coming back here today brings back memories because we don't get to see a lot of, you know, especially the juniors. You just don't see a lot of those guys. And you know, as we go on, Scott has you know, taken on the role here of building championships, and I still call it Silver Lake, but sometimes I do have to throw in Glencoe Silver Lake.
SLG.
and you look at the memories of hoisting that trophy, and you look back then, and you know, this is when it started. It started back then, and I think all of us have memories that it's bringing back now of the great times that, you know, you can never get back, but you can talk about it. You can have. It's great to have a 30-year reunion to see everybody, and you know, as we go Silver Lake, then we went to Glencoe Silver Lake, and I still enjoy every year. But Scott, if you only could have beaten St. Croix Lutheran, we would have been playing this year. But Scott's done a great job. We'll get Scott up there to talk a little bit about carrying on that tradition. You know, there's a lot of things that have changed. Oh, look at that. He is one. This picture Buzz would hear her. Look at that back there. Did you color it before this picture? I mean, he was looking pretty good back then. And I think this was probably another one of his award-winning speeches. And you look back, you know, we did get to play, I was reading, we were about the only team that played 2 11-man games and going down to Minneapolis Lutheran and then going to Hector. I think that asterisk was, I scored a touchdown that game. You know, look at those scores. Our toughest games again there were, and there was some good competition that year with Brownton. Sturt was tough, and with Stoney Trinity. And you know, it's not like these days where everybody gets to make the playoffs. You had to win the champ. You had to win the conference to go on, and so we all can look back. We can talk, have great memories about it. And there he is, 9-man coach of the year. And that was. I also had the pleasure to go to his induction into the Hall of Fame. And he gave a great speech there. And you look at the coaches that are inducted to the Hall of Fame, and Buzz really does deserve that. And hopefully now in 10, 20 years we can see Scott be in the Hall of Fame with his great record. I will make it there for that one, Scott. And look at these guys. Geez, Mike, you were looking good back then. I think, was this taking a shop class or what? You had a love for Earl and Riley's shop class, didn't you? I don't know what's better, that or the civics lead taught too. But you know, those were the 3 that were to the All-State team, and you know, they all had 3 great years. Todd was great on defense. Larry again had one of the best, you know, best year rushing marks in state 9-man history, and Butterball solid both ways, and let us. But if he'd smile a little bit, he'd stole those guys. And there it is. When I bring clients through Silver Lake, I do stop and we salute the trophy. And they go, did we see that the last 20 times we came through here? But you know, just love going by there. And then I do bring him by the football field every once in a while. And so, I mean, this is where we're from. We are the Lakeites, and 1983, although it's 30 years ago, it does seem like yesterday. And
not really.
And these were the juniors. They wanted to hug the camera. Look at Scott there. He was always a camera guy. No, you call him Sunshine. He was the up and coming quarterback there. Bernie, he was a tough guy, wasn't he? I don't know who's behind them, trying to sneak in with the yell in between those two, but Ratchet, yeah. And so, next one, and that was.
Seen that before, Kevin?
Larry, what the heck were you doing on that? Or it could have been, hey Kevin, that was a great tackle. Let's go with the second one. Yeah, and there, like I said, I was at that. It was a great ceremony. And look at 249 victories. How many coaches can say they have? Although Buzz, I think our senior class only contributed to 4 of those 118 losses, so can't speak to the ones before and after that. So. But not too many coaches can get 249 coaching victories, which is a great record, and we owe it to Buzz. And some of us have gone on, and I coached guys a little bit. Never won the championship. But you learn a lot from it. You didn't need a lot of plays in the playbook. You just needed to execute the plays, and that's what he taught us there. Him and Dan did a great job, and I think we're all grateful. So let's give a standing ovation on that. Look at Dan. He's talking to Starks and that up there, getting the next play. But those were our leaders. That's where we learned, how to play. We learned about sportsmanship. We learned about team, and it was a great 4 years. Although we never liked the meat grinders or the monkey rolls. I tried to do monkey rolls with my 5th and 6th graders when I was coaching. I go, what are monkey rolls? But you don't want to know. On to the next one, Nance. And there's the sign. Lakeites, sure they are great. They're from Silver Lake, and we'll always have that. We'll always remember that. But let's get Scott up here now, and let's let him say a few words from the junior class. Hey, Scott, I know you like the lake better than anyone. Just pretend I'm that guy like from Channel 45.
Why am I the first one talking? I think Buzz should be talking.
Well, we'll get him up here next, but
save the best for last.
We will save the best. We will save the best for last. But like I said, Scott went on, and he's been coach for how long at GSL?
Just finished my 6th year.
6th year, and he has come a long way. But I want him to talk a little bit about the junior class, because I talked about the senior class a little bit, and what you learned from your dad and from Buzz, and how you incorporate that into your coaching today.
Well, like Kevin was saying, that was the starting point to where we are right now at GSL. And it all started with Buzz and Dad, and we tried to carry on that tradition with Dave Dozie as the next coach. We've had 3 coaches at GSL, Buzz, Dave Dozie, and myself. And we just finished our 20 years in existence, I guess. And we're talking about the playbook in your West Coast offense. I will never run the West Coast offense. We run the same stuff that we ran in 1983. We mix in a little wing T stuff, but we're still an option football team. And like it says, if it's not broke, you don't need to fix anything. So we pride ourselves on that. We pride ourselves on playing tremendous defense, and that's what 1983 was. What did we give up? 11 points a game? I don't even know how many points we gave up for the season, but you win championships with defense. And that defense was spectacular that year. And if you watch that film, and you watch Tony Cadillac and Bernie Cookton and Todd Brown, one mean son of a bitch, I can tell you that. They were all over that field. And that's what we pride ourselves on at GSL. Defense, you got to be sick in the head, you got to want to hit, and you want to be relentless. And 20 years we're still that way, 30 years we're still that way. Now, going to 1983, or 1984 I guess would have been for us. And we had to try to carry on that legacy. And I can remember going through the season, and we had a pretty good run. We had some good teams that we had to play against. Broughton, Stewart. Stewart had a lot of kids back, and I think we were down right away against Stewart. And I think we played them for homecoming, did we not? And, geez. I don't know how we ever came back and won that game, but we won it with defense. I think they came out and scored 14-0 right off the bat. And then I can remember our turning point was when Bruce carried the ball, and I think he went about 43 yards in an option play. And I said, now we're rolling. And in our 1984 team, I think we were always slow. We were always behind, it seemed like, or we never scored in the first quarter. But once we started playing, and once we started getting into the groove of playing the game of football, we were pretty tough. And then I can remember going down to Westbrook for the section semifinals, and Buzz giving the old speech. This is the #1 team that I think is in the state, and they were good. They were good. We played them on a Saturday afternoon, and they were good. But we came back and we won that game. It was at 21-0 or 14-0 or something like that. I can't remember what the score was, but our dream was to get back to the big house and follow that 1983 team. And as everybody knows, we played the same team that we beat in 1983, and we lost in '84. And it's the losses is what kills you. And I don't care how old you are, you never get over it. And when you coach, you definitely never get over it. And we've been fortunate to play in a lot of state tournaments. We've been in a lot of state championships. And our goal to this day is to get to the Dome. It's not winning conference championships. It's get to the playoffs and get to the state tournament. And get to the Dome. And now we got to get to TCF. But, that's what drove me is playing with these guys. Being coached by Buzz and my dad. That's what drove me to be where I am today. And I can't say enough. I can't thank them enough. Because when I left high school, I went to Mankato with Kevin, and I was going into criminal justice. I took one class, and it was a night class. It was on Monday night. I took care of football. I said, I'm done with criminal justice. And then I took that year off after Mankato, and I really didn't know what the heck I wanted to do with my life. And then Buzz took me on. He said, Scott, why don't you come on and be a volunteer assistant? After that year, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to go in to teach. I wanted to coach. And I wanted to teach kids how to play football. And I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank Nancy, Sandy, Kevin, Tony. You guys put on, this is wonderful. And I can't thank you enough.
Thanks a lot, Scott.